last day in Taiwan, and yeah, what I decided to do in my last day, because my flight is late evening, yeah, I decided to go to one of my favorite places in Taiwan is Yingge Ceramic Museum. Actually, highly recommended, and I visited many times, and each time I visited I see something completely new, exhibition or some special art fair or whatever, because Yingge is the capital of ceramics in Taiwan, and actually in Taiwan, especially on its northern western part, a lot of very skilled ceramists, very innovative. We do crazy designs of anything, and yeah, so I really appreciate that. And now I'm on my way to this museum. Hopefully I will show you something completely new and interesting, yeah, because I was there for 3 years. Here's the entrance to the museum. The tickets cost only 80 Taiwanese dollars. Actually, it's about €3, maybe even less. So yeah, European museums need to learn something from Taiwanese guys about the pricing for museums, and you will see how beautiful it is inside. Even I'm not entered yet, but I know how it is, because yeah, I already was many times, but now we'll see some new expositions. I like this building actually, even it's built 22 years ago only, but still looks super modern. 谢谢，谢谢，你好，谢谢。Thank you. 谢谢你。The first floor regularly is an exhibition of some artist or some term, and here we see like it's called Nature's Zirang by Susan Benaire solo exhibition. I don't know who is Susan Benaire. Let us have a look. But this looks pretty interesting. And yeah, regular is limited time, only 2 months, as I see. Ecological balance between our connection to nature. Yes, yeah, I really appreciate that idea. Raise concerns about our fragile ecosystem of humans, animals and plants. Oh yeah, this is why. Okay, pretty beautiful actually. It's really very impressive and interesting artworks. I think they will be fired separately. Yeah, it's like installation, very inspirational and fresh looking actually, which is why I going to such exhibition, because it really looks very refreshing and new all the time. I just found that today is the first day of exhibition, which is why the ladies is finishing the installation. Yeah, so it's pretty and just in time. Actually, I was really impressed by this artwork. It's called non-biodegradable. So all the plastic trash which you can find in the ocean, made from porcelain and made pretty nice. And there's some stickers with how long it will be in ocean, like plastic bottle for 150 years, and some other measurements. The museum starts from the lockers, and I like these lockers because each made with a special ceramic panel, and each panel is different, so it's handmade and very beautiful design, kind of landscapes, urban landscapes. And here at the very beginning is the history of ceramic. So of course it's a snake kiln, or Sheiyao, or Longyao, how it's called in Chinese also. And this is like a middle part of this ancient kiln, which was wood-fired and still exists actually in western Taiwan. I do believe it's in Shilin, Sheiyao, still existing at the museum exposition. And here just one part of it. You can go inside, and actually, yeah, it's really often made in this size. So you can put the big objects inside for firing. Next part of the museum is different materials which used for firing, from bamboo and some grass and some, of course, wood. And also here explained the preparation of material, clay, and firing, and actually all the processing of making ceramics also explained in details. Here is about the formation of clay, different types of clay, porcelain, rocks. Yeah, it's pretty good explained. Actually, if you like ceramics, I really recommend to visit this museum because it's really well done. Also about mining the clay, some old wheels, very primitive ones, from super primitive to the modern potter wheel. Actually, I like this Japanese hand turning wood wheel. You still can find in Middle Asia and some other places wheels like this with no electricity, and they works. Also old ceramic instruments, molds, different shaping tools, fabrics for trimming the rim, and some other equipment. Yeah, and again the kiln. Actually, I do believe it's just a real kiln which was here, or they bring it here from somewhere else, some other place. On this stand is very cool installation when you can see the variety of decoration of the ceramics, and you can touch and feel these shapes and objects. Very well done. I really appreciate that. And this Yingge technique, actually, wow, super cool. Absolutely impressive thing, which I don't know how I missed it last time, because there's a glaze part, and in the glaze part I pretty take attention last time when I was here, but these all detailedly explained decorative techniques is super impressive. Actually, all from inlaying and detailing to some hakeme brushing like this Japanese style, all we can touch, which actually made pretty good artists. Oh yeah, it's super cool. Actually, second part is the glazes. It's even more interesting, and you can even use it as a actually small manual, because it's all explained at the historical glazes, not only with the content of the glaze but also with firing graphs. So you can just collect all the information about glaze from here. It still can be found online or some glazing courses, which is pretty a lot, but here is all information is very compact and simplified. Wow, this is super impressive. The next step is different types of firing, different types of kilns actually. Wood firing, reduction, oxidation, also different kilns, for example gas kilns, also with light ash, with a heavy ash, so rice straw mark, so you can see the differences between types of firing. Very interesting. Yeah, even if you are a specialist in ceramic, I think it's interesting to look, because it's all have samples which you can touch and feel. Yeah, salt firing, different types of salt firings, raku, of course. From my personal experience, maybe not best example of raku, but still, this one is pretty good. Yeah, really impressive. And yeah, and types of kilns, of course. Here's all traditional types of kilns. Floor there is a continuing of the permanent exhibition. Here the history of Chinese and Taiwanese actually ceramics. I do believe this is only about Taiwan, so it's Taiwanese ceramic history. Yeah, it's also super impressive. This is, I do believe, the exhibition which explaining the history of ceramics, connection with folk religions, from traditional ones to some local cults. Next exposition is all tableware, kitchen ceramics, with a lot of details. Actually, there's from pretty usual pots to some decorated porcelain. Actually, very good installation this, because it's also have some Japanese influence like here and some Chinese influence. And the Yingge tableware, yeah, really looks wonderful. Because actually Taiwan was under occupation of Japan for 50 years, so a lot of Japanese influence you feel here in some objects. The next room is a full explanation about the Yingge, the history of Yingge ceramics, how it became, how it starts, how it was industrialized, and some objects from very first one, historical to the modern. Here we can see a lot of ware, also some other ware, historical photography from that times, a lot of kilns everywhere. And here's a tunnel kiln, kind of course it's not real one, but you see how it's made. Yeah, tunnel kiln. And here we see the production of present Yingge, and a little bit late also. Some teapots, pretty simple ones, which is similar to Asian pots. Some Japanese style bowls, pots, pretty teapots. A lot of masters here produce some more precious artworks. And here you can see even ceramics for toilets, like regular toilets and sinks. Also the roof tiles, tubular tiles, some other type of tiles, and of course electricity, lamp holders, some terminals, blocks, whatever. And new entrepreneur's opportunity. Actually, I like this part. Here is some really precious artworks. It was super impressive. And of course some story about ceramic old street, which is actually also number second maybe after the museum attraction, to walk around to see some pretty places and so on. The next exposition is a contribution to the past: prehistoric pottery, time travel. All is pretty primitive but still interesting old pots in the era. Indigenous people pottery. This is actually pretty interesting. This is some small local minority pottery. Still primitive, but I really like these objects, Pawan and Moychay people, which have some interesting decorations. Especially like these ones. And here the new indigenous people ceramics, who was impressed by traditional indigenous ceramics and making it now. And here we see contemporary ceramics and tactile experience. I really like these masks. Actually they made in the shape of some local minorities, and it's different kind of glazes and materials. There's a sculpture clay, porcelain, wood firing, also different types of wood firing, some purple clay with reduction firing, also wood firing of sculpture clay. Very interesting. And here's also some local minorities ceramics, modern ones. Last gallery on the second floor. This is some industrial ceramic production, which is for me personally not so interesting, but still there is some high-tech possibilities for ceramic production, some objects, and also the gallery made very high-tech style, high-techish. There is no changes for years, it was the same many years ago. This is why we can see here some motherboards of old computers. Oh yeah, Motorola. My absolutely favorite floor, were all the time ever-changing exhibition, Taiwan Ceramic Biennale. Wow, new social dynamics in ceramics, because here you can see some super inspirational artworks, the modern artist, ceramic journey for tracing nutrients in history and culture, presenting a new momentum from a contemporary perspective. As usual, contemporary art. Some very meaningful introduction, and we see a really contemporary situation here. It's in Russian. Miss Vселенная. Who is? Yana Payusova, Russia. Stoneware and the glaze. Wow. Amorphous. Name of the next room. Special exhibition. Mostly Taiwanese, Chinese, Japanese artists. One lady from USA. Yeah. Inspired by nature. How do curators written? Very special artworks. Impressive. Actually, I like some kind of contemporary art, which use some new emotions and visions and philosophies behind these minimalistic objects. But what's impressed me the most is absolutely fascinating two artworks of Liu Junhui, Taiwanese artist. First called Eternal Cloudscape, Absolutely fascinating. I never seen something like that, because actually I have seen a lot. Trust me. And the second artwork called Skywriting. Absolutely fascinating artwork. Incredibly made. A lot of different glazes and clay, which just looks like terracotta clay, or there's some Kinmoku glazes and some others. And the idea of these shapes, absolutely incredible. 3D clouds made from ceramic. Insane. I never seen something like that. I definitely will need to meet this guy someday, I hope. Next two rooms, still a continuing of the abstract modern contemporary artworks. This is one of the most impressive for me, from Chen, Taiwan. And yes, this is Kawabata Kentaro, Japan. Oh, wow. All the time I see something like that, I just think, are it still possible to open new vision, new possibilities? Yes, still open. And this is something. In this room, which is called Metamorphosis of Material Philosophy, medium cross-disciplinary expressions based on ceramic material. Yes, I like here a few works. Actually, this one is Anatomy of Secret Things, and also Japanese artist Shikigazu Naga. Shapes, fantastically made. But the most impressive from this room, I do believe, this one, this pixel art made from ceramic. Absolutely fascinating. And this artwork, I even almost try to hold the whole area, but actually it's still the object. I almost think that it's a door. Yeah, it's cool. Tashiya Masuda. Very well done. A lot of inspiration, a lot of beauty in this museum, and yeah, if you want some modern contemporary stuff, visit first floor exhibitions. It's all the time ever changing, and the third floor there is also all the time exhibitions ever changing. Pretty beautiful, inspirational. They're really good, have good selection all the time. Very special objects. Thank you for watching, guys. Yeah, see you next time. Subscribe my blog. Please share this video, because my English channel is still pretty small. Very appreciate. Please leave your comments below and notification bell. Thank you.